Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler platter video series videos I'm going to do for the while. We're over there trying food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, well, at the time I'm doing this, I'm in the old back room with a Pure Can Thunderbolt poster behind me, crappy old ladder off to the side, bunch of Marvel figures up there, and then on top of that, I'm wearing a bit of a cool shirt. What cool shirt am I wearing? Well, it's pretty visible. Boom! PlayStation shirt. The OG PlayStation logo. Which, for me, is always funny because whenever you see PlayStation branded stuff, it's always the retro, it's always the classic PlayStation design. And yet they don't use that anymore. I don't think they've used it really at all since the PS2. And even then, it was like just a little thing, thing on the system. Just use the PlayStation logo. It's a great logo. It's one of the most iconic video game logos of all time. Plus, I'm a big PlayStation whore. I fully admit it. So, but anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? Because at the end of the day, that is what this show's about. I go over there, I eat stuff, and I'm gonna yammer on. What am I eating? What am I doing? Well, this one's a special one, folks, because this one required me to actually cook. That doesn't happen very often. Part of the reason why I do this show is because it's typically very easy for me to do because the items are like pre-prepared and stuff. In this case, I had to do a little something, but not much because we're doing boom, Yachty or Yachty's, yes, Pizzeria deep cuts, pepperoni and bacon pizza. I'm just gonna be honest with you right now. When I first saw this, I thought that this had something to do with Stranger Things. I'm super out of the loop with Stranger Things, but go with me on this. Go with me on this. I did reviews of Stranger Things pizza a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago. This is the box. This is the Yachty box. So you can kind of see where I was going with it. I figured, okay, it's just another Stranger Things thing. I was not aware of the association with Mr. Yachty. I not really too familiar with him. I am aware of the name, and when I realized that this was in fact branded specifically from him, I went over there and I actually took the extra step to go over there and listen to a little bit of his music, just so that I could become familiar with it on some level. It was not for me. I enjoy rap and hip hop, but I do come from something of an earlier time of, rap and hip hop. And then I have the nu metal association, a lot of nu metal incorporated, rap elements and stuff. It's very different than what I'm personally used to. A lot of, at least the few songs that I listen to of his stuff, one I think was called like Minnesota, one was like One Night, and there's one other one that I can't think of off the top of my head. A lot of auto-tune, a lot of that like type of beat to it. If that's your jam, that's your jam. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here to go over there and review Yachty's music. And at the end of the day, I doubt Yachty's fans give two fucks about what I have to think about his music. Because at the end of the day, I'm not his target demographic. But obviously, he's a very successful individual. I mean, his own fucking pizza line now. That's what I'm here to try. So regardless of how I feel about his music, hopefully his pizza's good. So, I have a slice, a rather large slice, right here. I promise this is actually the pizza in question. I know you guys didn't see me take it out of the oven and such, but this is it. I'm not going to lie to you. And I got to admit, it looks good. When I did the Stranger Things pizza, the like Surfer Dude or what the fuck ever, those were okay, but they kind of came up as feeling a little bit cheap, like not Jack's Pizza level cheap or anything, but this actually seems like it's hopefully going to be some decent frozen pizza. Let's give it a shot. Pepperoni. They only had 2 flavors available when I bought it. And by the way, did a pretty decent job of cooking it too. It's took like 20 minutes. When I went to buy this, because this was not on my radar at all. It was just I ran into it at a Walmart. They had the bacon and the pepperoni, and they had like a veggie pizza, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do the veggie one, but yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, all right. It's not bad. The So like for me, my personal tier structure when it comes to uh like frozen pizzas. On like the lowest end, you have like Jack's Pizza. You can get them for $3 fucking. They are no family's favorite. You know you're lying, Jack. Maybe Jack's family because I'm sure he's making bank off me buying the damn things. Um, you know, they're serviceable, but they're not great on any stretch of the imagination, even by frozen pizza standards. Then for me, probably my top tier would be Home Run Inn. I really like Home Run Inn pizza. I think it tastes unlike any other frozen pizza brand, and I've never had one that I've disliked out of all the varieties that I've had of them. And then you have like DiGiorno and stuff like that, which is again a little bit higher end. This feels like it's solidly upper middle. It's like you're getting full cheese coverage, which I appreciate because again, you've had Jack's before. There can be quite a few spots where you're not getting full cheese coverage. Um, the the ingredients themselves, the pepperoni actually tastes pretty good. It's got a decent pepperoni taste to it, and it doesn't taste again. I mean, I'm gonna keep ragging on Jack's. For one thing, you got a lot of it. Like this one had a particularly high ratio of it, which is why I chose it. But even across the whole thing, like you got a good distribution. With Jack's and like the lower end pizzas, they're counting those pepperoni hard. They are not looking to cover the pizza. You're gonna get X amount, probably three at most per slice, which is what it is. Um, Now the only thing is, pepperoni and bacon sounds great, but at that point you're using two very salted pork meats. And now if you compare that to like pepperoni and sausage, sausage is obviously it's still pork, it comes from a pig. But it's not, obviously it's going to be salted to some extent, but it's not like a salty meat. With the pepperoni and the bacon, especially with the bacon pieces being, somewhat small, I feel like they kind of get lost amongst the pepperoni. Like they're there, but they're almost more for texture at this point. And they do add like a little extra saltiness. Although I have to compare it to the Stranger Things piece I did. I forget which one it was, but one of them was like really salty tasting. This does not have that problem. Like even with the two salty meats on it, they might have bites that are a little bit more salty than others, but typically speaking, it's pretty solid in terms of the overall consistency of the flavor. And now, of course, it's a rising crust. Try a little bit of the crust. For me, I like a rising crust. I don't like a crust that's super firm unless it's something like a cornmeal crust or like a butter crust. So for me, I appreciate the rising crust where it's fluffier, a little bit easier to chew through. You do get more of it, which for me, the crust is typically the least exciting part of the pizza, but when I was a kid, it was definitely the part that I would leave in the pizza box. Back before I understood how bills and money work. But yeah, it's honestly pretty good. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be, for me, it's not going to be contending with the top pizzas out there. But it's definitely a good deal better. It's closer to the top than it is to the bottom. Like, the overall presentation of it is good. Like I said, I appreciate the distribution of the ingredients, the cheese, the pepperoni and the bacon. I think that all worked well. I like the crust, and just in overall, like I said, the flavor consistency is really solid. Like every piece that I'm eating tastes good. Doesn't feel like it's off balance, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It does a good job. It's not the best, frozen pizza I've ever had. And the problem for me is, because I have to ask myself, would I buy this again? The problem for me is when I go out to buy, like frozen pizzas, I'm either going super cheap and I'm buying a shit ton of Jacks, and I'm going to go over there and buy some hot sauce to go over there and pour on it. Or I'm going to go over there and I'm going to go a little bit more upscale because, I'll do like a home run in or a DiGiorno or something like that. For this, it's good, but because it is kind of in that middle range, even if it's on the upper middle range, it's just, I don't know where I would go over there and go in for it. Because I'm typically on one extreme or the other. But it is good. Like, whether or not I would recommend it, yeah, like it's a perfectly fine frozen pizza. Like I said, certainly better than average. Maybe like a B minus is kind of where I would grade it. It's not going to knock your socks off, but it does a good job, and it clearly there's a level of quality that they put into it. It's not just for namesake for namesake, like with the Stranger Things Association. Like those pizzas kind of sucked. So I mean, to Mr. Yachty, though, your music might not be to my particular tastes, your pizza did a damn fine job. It's not, it's not the GOAT. Okay, it's not the Michael Jordan of, because Michael Jordan's the GOAT. He is. It's not the GOAT of frozen pizzas, but it's like a solid Patrick Ewing of it. Yeah, I'll go with that. Love you, Pat. Like he fucking knows me. Anyway, that's going to do it for me on this one. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous for your folks. If you could go there and have yourselves a truly yacht-tastic rest of your life, because hooray yachts? Nah, that's not a great one. No offense to Yachty's name or anything like that. Yachts are just, why? They're just one of those things that they're so excessive for the sake of being excessive. It's like, that's just when you just have too much money and you're just like, I'm just going to have a giant boat that should be a cruise ship. Do what you do. It's your money. Do what you do. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. Now, if I had a super yacht, I would say that might make it easier for me to not be an asshole, but typically when you see people with super yachts, like a Mr. Bezos, maybe it doesn't help all that much. This has become a weird fucking video where it's just me ragging on people who own yachts. And I'm not even trying. I'm sure there's good people who own yachts. It's just unfortunately, you got guys like Jeff Bezos where it's like he's not a good dude. Supposedly he's going to give all his money away to charity and stuff like that. Pay your workers better. Let them unionize. Do that first, and then I'll give a shit. But yeah, at the end of the day, Life can be stressful. It can be hard. Probably not if you're Jeff Bezos. But take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully makes things a little bit better. Maybe not as good as it is for Jeff Bezos, but again. Very final thing, folks. Do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to watch my video and it's going to inspire you not to go over there and come up with your own pizza brand, although I suppose you could do that. But let's say you start up your own business and you end up going over there, you're a brilliant business mind, you end up going over there and actually challenging Amazon for financial supremacy. You manage to go over there and merge a hostile takeover that boots freaking Jeff Bezos out on his ass. And then hopefully he goes over there and he's like, all right, blah, 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 and then uses his money for good things and not buying dumbass super yachts and then demanding that countries go over there and disassemble their bridges so he can dock them. Weird move. It's not, I don't even know where it came from. I haven't had anything to do with Jeff Bezos. And I use Amazon, so I'm a hypocrite. Or you could go over there and not do that. Maybe just go over there and make yourself like a really nice like homemade pizza. I can't do it because it would go really poorly for me. That's why I do the frozen stuff. But I'm going to give you more credit. Okay? Bye.